Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Crimson Diamond. Okay, so we left off after we had let's see, we just finished looking in here, and we got the stuff from this trunk here. So what did we get? We got the bullet, or technically it's not just a bullet; it's an entire cartridge, which includes the bullet at the tip. We got this blasting cap and this padlock, and we examined them. Yeah, we got the fingerprint from this and from this. Right, you've revealed Albert's fingerprint on the padlock. The padlock looks even sturdier up close. I bet this thing would secure just about anything. I'm sorry, I know that this probably isn't intentional, but just the way she sort of reacts that way to it kind of makes me imagine that she's thinking of bondage or something. I'm sorry, and I know that probably wasn't the intention, or maybe it was. I think there may be some. I think this game does at times attempt to be just a little bit suggestive, just enough to make people like me, or just enough to give material to people like me who make jokes like that. Anyway, I think we're done here. I guess the thing to do now is, if we go to our notebook, I guess the thing to do is yeah, we're done in investigating Albert. So the thing to do now is to go to Jack. I think Jack is in the carriage house. He's where, like, in that car garage. Before I begin, I just want to say somebody pointed out to me in the previous video that I was wrong about dynamite. I don't know why I thought dynamite was stable. I guess I'm not good with explosives. I mean, I've never used any explosives like this, so, just reading about stuff, sometimes you get the wrong idea. Somehow I thought the dynamite is stable. So what I said was true in the sense that when people work with explosives, they do want the explosives to be stable. Explosives do need to be stable for transport and things like that. Even if things are very explosive, even high explosives that make a really big boom need to be stable enough to not blow up when you're trucking them around in the back of a truck, or whatever, carrying them around, transporting them, handling them. But dynamite is not stable like that, and that's why it was never adopted really for military use. It was used in mining operations because, for things like that, you just want something that's cheap. And I guess dynamite is relatively easy to make. It's relatively cheap and easy to make, which is why it was used for things like that, where the budget wasn't necessarily very high. But militaries have apparently never used dynamite because it is, in fact, unstable. It can, in fact, blow up spontaneously if it gets old. Like, if it's freshly made, like if it's newly made, like if it's a pretty new batch of dynamite, it probably won't. But over time, it can start to become unstable, and it can just blow up just from getting old. So actually, Nancy is kind of right, I guess. Since this stick of dynamite probably came from Albert recently, I'm gonna guess that it's relatively new. I don't think that Albert would be carrying around an old stick of dynamite that's ready to blow up on its own. So probably we can assume that it's a fairly new stick of dynamite that came from Albert. So Nancy doesn't need to worry too much, but her concerns are not entirely unwarranted because, in fact, dynamite sticks that have been left lying around for a while can blow up if they get old, and if they start to deteriorate somewhat. So yeah, I may have mixed up dynamite with TNT in my mind, which is I don't know if I made that mistake. That's a common mistake. I think I knew that dynamite is not the same as TNT. In fact, they have nothing to do with each other other than that they're explosives. And there's this sort of popular pop culture sort of confusion that tends to conflate the two and think that dynamite is TNT. They're not. They're totally different things. And TNT is stable, unlike dynamite. So maybe I kind of mixed them up, and I don't know. Anyway, just wanted to say that it's a public service announcement to anyone who actually finds dynamite. If any of you ever find a stick of dynamite, don't assume that it's stable. Don't take my word for it. Don't take what I said in the last video to heart. It actually could blow up spontaneously if it's especially if it's old or if it gets bumped, because apparently dynamite is actually made with nitroglycerin. Who knew? Somebody didn't know that, or I think I probably read that sometime and then forgot it. So a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. Sometimes you read things and you forget about them, because I don't work with TNT or dynamite every day, explosives. Anyway, what was I going to do? I was going to go to the carriage house, which is just over here, if I'm not mistaken. There it is. Oh, the door's open now.
Oh,
What's this? The double doors have been thrown wide open. Wow, what a shocking thing. I mean, it's a carriage house where the doors have been opened. This is astonishing. How could this happen? And there are two guys inside talking to each other. How could the doors have opened? It must be a ghost. You can see Ranger Murdoch and Jack inside the carriage house. They look nonplussed.
Jack, what's going on?
The automobile's gone, Nancy.
I can see that.
Someone must have picked the lock on the driver's side door and made off with it.
I think Albert's stolen the automobile.
You hear a rumbling.
Is that Thunder?
No, that's Nathan. He went and got his automobile. Tell me what you know on the way. Time's a-wasting. Let's go.
Right.
It's going to be a bit of a tight squeeze and a bumpy ride. It's actually Evan's father's old car. I've managed to keep it running decently well, though the shocks are pretty stiff.
Decently well?
It'll be fine, Nancy. Just hang on tight. You all pile into Nathan's automobile and head for the mine.
Mr. Cardinal, I'm sorry we couldn't meet under better circumstances. I understand your reluctance to be involved with the authorities. It's entirely justified.
Evan's in danger. I will help my friend. We can figure out the rest later.
I will safeguard you from any consequences of going off reservation, I promise.
Well, let's deal with that later.
I think Albert's stolen the automobile.
Whoa, Nancy is quick on the draw there. Oh man, guys, watch out. This girl is so sharp, she's gonna cut herself. They're talking about something totally different, and all of a sudden, in the middle of the conversation, just blurts out,
I think Albert's stolen the automobile.
You do? What makes you think so, Nancy?
Albert's luggage is gone, and his room is a mess. It looks like he left in a hurry. Albert had so much luggage, and Jack said it was very heavy.
It sure was.
There's no way he could have handled all that luggage himself unless he took the automobile. I think he's driving it to the Sulaks to bomb it. I stumbled upon a confrontation between Albert and Kimmy. He was furious with her. It was such a bewildering encounter. Kimmy had him map the Sulaks.
I think she means with the Sulaks.
Kimmy had him map with the Sulaks circled. I think that had something to do with Albert leaving so suddenly. He must have thought she was on to his sabotage plan, but Kimmy told me she was interested in seeing the Sulaks as a tourist. He's not a Belgian mineralogist at all. He's a German spy.
Okay, I can see him. So, this is basically what Ludicer's theory was, that because Albert's books were brand new, he had just bought them to appear legitimate. Because mineralogy is not a field like computer programming or some other field like that where things change quickly, where the field, is often changing. Mineralogy stays pretty much the same over time. So if you're a mineralogist, it's not likely that you would need to buy brand new books. You'd probably have old books sitting around, and they'd probably be well worn from use. So that's what led Ludicer to think that Albert was a poser, and he had just bought the books as kind of a cover to appear more legitimate. So it looks like he was right after all. Now, that part is not surprising, but where did you get the idea that he's a German spy? I mean, okay, I can see you're saying he's not a mineralogist, he's a saboteur. Okay, that part makes sense. But how does she get he's not Belgian, he's German? Where did the German part come from?
And his name might actually be Carl L.
Okay, I thought that part as well, but lots of people are named Carl. You don't have to be German to be named Carl.
Carl L? Where did you hear that name?
I found this telegraph tape and stick of dynamite in Carl's room. And I found a bullet and a blasting cap in the blue trunk where he was storing some of his things. I think Carl is highly knowledgeable about explosives, armed and dangerous.
Fantastic detective work, Nancy. I need to notify the appropriate authorities and follow up on this imminent threat.
Oh, Also, I think Albert's got a gun. He's been storing bullets in the blue trunk. And he's knowledgeable with explosives. He was storing the blasting caps and dynamite separately. I think you're dealing with a professional saboteur, one that's armed and dangerous.
Got it. I'll keep all of that in mind when we confront him, Nancy. Thank you.
Please be careful.
I will. I'll tell you how it goes when we meet again. Mr. Cardinal, could you please drop me off at the train station? I can send an urgent telegram for reinforcements. We'll have rangers at the Sulocks as soon as possible.
Of course, but first to the Garnet Mines. They're closer.
Good idea. Telegrams travel faster than any automobile. Albert will take some hours to arrive at his destination.
Nathan stops his automobile as close to the Garnet Mine as he dares. The ground is rugged and any roads leading to and from the area fallen into disrepair many years ago. A bit of stealth is imperative as well. It wouldn't do for Nessa and Corvus to be alerted to your presence. The consequences for Evan could be dire. You and Jack watch Nathan turn the automobile around to head for the distant train station. It's all up to you now. Excellent job. Kudos on your thorough investigative technique. Yeah, thanks to the walkthrough.
The mine entrance has been blasted shut. This can't be where Nessa and Corvus took Evan. Oh no, my theory's wrong.
Nancy, wait a minute. This is the closest entrance to the mine. They were on foot. Not to mention this is fresh rubble. Most likely they did use this entrance, but the entrance collapsed after them. Abandoned mines are dangerous places. We have to be careful. Ooh, Chapter 6, Confrontations. I think we're getting up to some big climax here. I think this is leading to some big climactic conclusion, confrontation.
How are we going to get in?
Dunno, but I'm going to grab that shovel and start digging. Jack starts digging at the rubble at the mine entrance.
I've got to help Jack with this.
Game is auto-saved. All right. So, let's see. What note has been added to our notebook? So, I didn't ask Jack about the, I needed to ask Jack about the brooch. That's right. I need to ask Jack about the brooch. And did I need to ask him about anything else? I don't think so. I think that's it. All right. Oh, yeah. The new notice is gain entrance into the mine. Okay, that was fairly apparent. I'm going to guess that the way we solve this is not just by digging. I mean, I can say dig. Helping Jack dig with your bare hands wouldn't be very effective. All right, since we're here, let's ask Jack about the brooch.
Look, Jack, I found Nessa's ruby brooch.
Huh. Well, how do you like that? You're pretty good at finding things, Nancy.
Want to know what else I found, Jack? Your fingerprint on Nessa's ruby brooch. Can you think of any reason why I'd find that?
Okay. I helped Margot hide the brooch. It was the least I could do, seeing as Nessa probably killed her. Nessa probably murdered Margot, right? Or at least poisoned her? That's what you figure, right?
Yes, that's what I think.
Margot was telling me that Nessa had it out for her. She didn't tell me why she thought so. But it was easy to see why. It was easy to see, wasn't it? Nessa thought Margot would get the lodge and land instead of her. So yeah, when Margot came to me to help her hide the brooch, I did just that. I couldn't hide it in my room because Albert's using it. Couldn't hide it in the room I'm sharing with Corvus. Too risky. So I hid the brooch in Margot's giant closet. Reached up high into her hats and pinned it inside one of them. Okay, so it was Jack who did that, not Margot. Margot couldn't have reached up there. She was even shorter than you. We were going to sell it and use the money to help with the lodge's upkeep. So Nessa could at least indirectly help fund that, something she should have been doing anyway. But now, Margot's dead, Evan's missing, and Nessa and Corvus right in the middle of all of it. Things are coming apart. I don't see much point in anything anymore. You keep it. You found it fair and square. Pay your way through school or something. Make something good come out of all this.
Okay, Jack. I'll hold on to it for now.
Hey, we got to keep the brooch and feel good about it. We got to keep the brooch without feeling guilty about it. Awesome! It's like when Slavoj Žižek talks about how Starbucks includes... There's this sequence where Slavoj Žižek talks about how Starbucks coffee is more expensive, but people buy it because Starbucks says they give like some portion of their profits to preserving the rainforest and helping needy children in developing countries or whatever. So it's like you're not only buying coffee, you're buying a good feeling, you're buying a good conscience because you feel like you're helping the world by buying the expensive Starbucks coffee. So this is kind of like that. We not only got to keep the brooch, we got to feel good about doing it. We got to feel a good conscience about stealing somebody's brooch because the person we stole it from was Nessa, and she deserves to have things stolen from her. Yeah. Okay. I guess I need to clean out some more old saves. I'll just delete a few of these. All right, turn autosave back on. And actually, it already saved as Chapter 6, but I'll make my own save called Chapter 6 because I don't know, for no reason. All right, let's take a look around. Can we leave the screen? No, I guess we can't. No, the game won't let us leave this screen. Okay. And this is not the kind of game where you can use the right mouse button to look at things. So I'm going to have to try and guess what these things are. But let's take a look around. The abandoned garnet mine looks stark and desolate in the moonlight. Debris and forgotten equipment litter the area. There is rubble completely obstructing the entrance.
The rubble does look fresh. It could be the Nessa and Corvus did enter the mine from here.
Jack is here. Yeah, that's all stuff that we can kind of readily tell. What I really want to know is what is this and what is this? All right, look at the ground. Piles of rubble surround the buried entrance of the mine. You can see an old discharged plunger detonator among the debris. There's a reel of wire near some bushes. Okay, I kind of thought this looked like one of those plungers that they use for dynamite, and this does look like a spool of wire. I kind of thought that, but I wanted to make sure. All right, let's examine the spool. The wire's still in pretty good condition. It should work. All right, can we take the spool?
Yes, we can. I wonder if I can figure out a faster way to clear this rubble.
I like that they actually, I started reading before I started laughing before I finished. Sorry, I got that completely backwards. I started laughing before I finished reading this because I figured what they were trying to say. Yeah. Disclaimer. The developer of this game assumes no responsibility or liability for any errors or omissions in any processes depicted, particularly dangerous ones involving explosives. Do not attempt anything in this game in real life. I mean, it seems kind of ridiculous that you'd have to put that into the game, but, you know, people might play this game and then say, hey, I got inspired to blow up a mountain because of playing the Crimson Diamond, and I blew off my finger in the process, and now I'm going to sue somebody for it. All right, let's take a look at this plunger. The plunger detonator has been weathered for many years outside. The wood is desiccated and splitting, and the screws are rusting. Can I get the detonator? Yes, I can.
I wonder if I can figure out a faster way to clear this rubble. I now have a plunger detonator, wire, blasting cap, and a stick of dynamite. I wonder if I could rig this up to blast the mine entrance open.
So I wonder what happens if we get here without this stuff. I'm curious because, yeah, we do have the blasting cap with us. But what if I had not taken it? What if I had just not checked that chest in the storage room, or if I hadn't taken the blasting cap with me? Would I now be stuck in an unwinnable situation? I'm not sure how generous this game is with trapping you in situations where you can't, where you can't proceed. I'm curious whether that would have been possible. The wire's in pretty good condition, and yeah, we saw that. Okay, so what do we have? So we have the wire and the detonator. We have the blasting cap, and we have this stick of dynamite. I'm going to assume those things go together. Question is, what do we do? Attach wire to cap. The wire transfer the charge from the plunger detonator, but that wouldn't be sufficient to set off the dynamite. Yeah, I know. Oh, thanks, Nancy. Nancy, the mineralogist, is helpfully informing us how to blow things up.
You need to insert the blasting cap into the dynamite first.
Cool. Thanks for... That's so helpful. She's so kind and helpful. She's literally telling us how to solve the puzzle. Okay, put dynamite into blasting cap. Okay. It's now just a matter of figuring out the right... Attach dynamite to blasting cap. Attach dynamite to cap. Put cap on dynamite. What exactly should it... Insert. Okay, maybe I need to say insert. Oh, and it's not... The dynamite doesn't go into the cap. Duh. The cap goes into the dynamite. Okay. Insert cap into dynamite. There we go. You carefully insert the blasting cap into the dynamite. There we go. Well done. All right. Now, maybe we can attach wire to cap. You stick the end of the wire into the blasting cap, which has been inserted into the dynamite. All right. Well done. And now, attach wire to detonator. You need to cut the wire from the reel before you can insert it into the plunger. Cut wire.
I'm all set. I just need to cut the wire from the reel and insert the cut end into the plunger detonator.
You don't have any wire cutters right now, and you don't see any here.
I want to get a pair of wire cutters. I'm so close.
Okay, so we need wire cutters. All right. Search rubble. I'm going to assume that we can't just, yeah. Talk to Jack. I'm trying to dig out this rubble and not break this old shovel in two while I do it. If you can figure out a better way, I'm all ears. Otherwise, come help me dig. Climb the tree. The soldier pine has rough, scratchy bark covered in sticky resin and offers no handy branches to aid climbing.
There's no need to climb it anyway. I know where I need to go and what I have to do.
All right. Nice that they thought of us doing that. Climb hill. That's your little effect. Climb mountain. Ask Jack about wire cutters.
Would you happen to have any wire cutters, Jack?
Oh. Oh. Okay, that was fortuitous. I do, actually.
Perfect, may I borrow those?
Sure thing. Sure. Here you go, Nancy. Wire cutters.
Thanks.
All right. Well, gosh, I wasn't expecting that to work. Jack's wire cutters, they look sharp. They're not that interesting. Oh, but they are, because they are our ticket out of here. Cut the wire. Using wire cutters, you snip the wire from the reel. Well done. Okay, now can I attach the wire to the detonator? You insert the wire into the plunger detonator.
The explosive is rigged. It's time to set it off.
I'm going to go ahead and just, let's see, activate detonator. That's your little effect. Push detonator.
Here goes.
She actually did it. Wow. I have to give this game credit. It doesn't stop you from doing stuff like this. Like if you want to just go ahead and just wham, just get right into that, it'll let you do that. I kind of respect that. I gotta respect that. I appreciate that the game didn't say something like, no, that's too dangerous. No, you would blow yourself up. It just lets you do that. Okay. Thank you for letting me do that. I mean, I honestly didn't expect it to just let me do that. But it did. So I appreciate it. Honestly, I appreciate just being allowed to get us killed in stupidly obvious ways. Okay, put dynamite in rubble.
Jack, I'm ready to set the explosive charge.
Got it, Nancy. Give me a second. Ready. Well, he doesn't need to... Okay. You can place the dynamite close to the rubble.
Okay, we're all set.
Now, can I get the detonator? Put detonator behind rock? Yeah, okay. Thank you. I was worried that maybe she didn't cut the wire long enough, but she did. Okay.
I've taken the plunger and placed it out of harm's way. Fortunately, the wire's long enough.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not sure how long she made how long she cut the wire, because you want to obviously cut it a sufficient length. Okay, she did. Obviously, she had the foresight to make the wire long enough. So good. Okay, now can I push the plunger?
Here goes nothing.
Boom.
That was a bit anticlimactic. Well, it was only one stick of dynamite after all.
Yeah, one stick can only do so much. Was that enough? Can I walk in now? Look at the entrance. There's now a small hole in the rubble.
I think I might be able to enter the garnet mine this way. Unfortunately, Jack won't fit. Maybe he can follow later.
Alright, so we can't just walk in. We have to go through the hole. Enter mine.
All right, I can fit through this opening.
Nancy, this is really dangerous. Let's widen. Let's widen this hole some more so I can go too. I really, really feel that this is intentional. I'm sorry. I will never believe that this was an innocent mistake. I will forever believe that this was deliberately planted here so that I could... Yeah.
Evan's in danger. There's no time to lose. You keep working on the rubble and follow when you can.
Okay, Nancy, you're the boss. You be careful, you hear?
I will, I promise.
Wait, before you go, it's gonna be dark as night in there. Darker even. Take this lantern. Jack lights the lantern and hands it to you. I've got another one, don't you worry. Hey, you're not the only one with big pockets. Good luck, kiddo. I was gonna say, Nancy has spent a lot of this game complaining that the things are too big to fit in her inventory. Like, there are a lot of big things that, we've tried to take, and she said,
oh no, it's too big, it won't fit in my pockets.
And then she took that huge plunger and that huge spool of wire and didn't have any problems with taking those, so...
Thanks, Jack.
You squeeze through the small hole into the rubble and enter the mine.
Oh, wow.
Seeing the lantern's light reflected brilliantly on the thousands of red crystals embedded in the walls, you're suddenly reminded of why you traveled to Crimson in the first place. If the situation wasn't so dire, you'd be dazzled by this cave of natural wonders. Instead, the red gleams look like blood. The red gleams look like blood is beating on every surface, just waiting to fall. You shiver. Toronto feels like it's a million kilometers and a million years away.
Oh dear, it's so dark in here. I need to figure out which way Nessa and Corvus have taken Mr. Richards. If indeed they came this way at all.
Alright, so what does that note in our notebook say? Track Nessa, Corvus, and Evan. Alright. I think this is a good point to save the game. Entered mine. I'm just curious, can I just walk around? So this is basically just like, yeah, this is exactly like the Troll Cave in King's Quest IV. Or not exactly like it, but... Oh. It's just a little crushed. Don't give in to the pressure before moving on, find your way. Alright, so... Is this just like trial and error? Do we just need to figure out which way we can go, or... You slip and fall into the distant, jagged depths of the mine. A slip of a girl. Too bad you're not the gumshoe you thought you were. Be more careful next time. All right. So I'm going to assume that this is just like totally random, and we just, or not random, but like we just need to just try each way until we find which way works. Can I take that thing that was there? Is that a shovel? These indications of a shovel in the gloom. Can I take that shovel? There inside the mine, there's no need for the shovel.
Too bad. I could have used this when Hal and Jack cleared the rubble outside.
Yeah, but the dynamite was more efficient. The outside from the air feels stale and still. Your grateful enters light, though the warm glow quickly gets swallowed by the darkness. You see a wooden support beam listing wildly to one side like a ship's mast in a storm. You notice a particularly large red crystal embedded in a nearby boulder.
Oh, gorgeous.
I'm going to assume that means I take the crystal. You chip a particularly lovely crystal sample out of the rock. Alright. Crystal sample taken from mine interiors. So this was... Something we took from the mine's interior is truly spectacular.
There's some amazing red and colorless crystal formations. Stunning!
While the mine interior sample is pocked with many lovely crystals, the most prominent one is large and red.
A healthy-sized garnet, most likely. I think it's even gem quality. It's a real pity that this mine produced industrial abrasives only. It's too pretty to pulverize.
I wonder, can I rub that garnet on that plate that we have? No? Are we supposed to test our samples for hardness or something? I don't know. Alright, there's, I guess, an old wagon here, which looks like it's not... The game doesn't know the word wagon? Really? Alright. I guess I'll save the game. Got garnet. Okay, so we can't go through here, and we can't go down here. Can we go to the right?
Where am I going? Uh-oh.
You aimlessly wander the mine until the lantern goes out. Oh. Oh dear. Alone in the dark, wandering aimlessly seldom ends well. Have a game plan first for some step-by-step instructions. Okay. So, I'm going to guess we can't go up here. Yeah, that kills us the same way. Okay, so... The way to go is to the right, but we need to have some kind of idea of where we're going before we go that way. So how are we gonna... We don't have a map or anything like that, so how are we gonna find our way here? Okay. Well, I guess we'll have to figure that out next time. But for now, this has been more of the Crimson Diamond. Hope you've enjoyed watching, everyone. Take care, folks. I'll see you all next time for... I think what is getting close to the climax of the game, I have a feeling we're getting close to some really significant sort of climactic scene here, so maybe in another video or two we will start to see some pretty awesome stuff happening. But until then, once again, thanks for watching, everyone. Take care. I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye for now.